All right, let's talk about waterproof laminate flooring. I mean, that phrase alone sounds like a suit of armor for your home, right? Total protection. But what if that promise has a loophole? A pretty big one, actually. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on a hidden threat that could be silently ruining your beautiful new floor from the one direction you're not even looking, from below.
So, you did all your homework, you picked out the perfect color, and you invested in flooring that's got that big, beautiful, waterproof label on it. You're thinking, I'm all set. Spills, pet messes, you name it, nothing's going to get through, right? Well, not quite. Turns out the real danger isn't what's happening on top of your floor, it's what's quietly creeping up from underneath.
Now, to be fair, waterproof laminate is fantastic at its main job. It really is. It's engineered with these special hydrophobic coatings and super tight locking systems. Its entire purpose is to create this impenetrable shield on the top surface. So for all those top-down spills, like a glass of wine or just mopping the floor, you are absolutely covered. But that's only half the battle.
And this is where we get to the heart of it. There are two very different kinds of moisture your floor is going to face. You've got the obvious enemy, the one you can see and wipe up in a panic. And then you have the invisible one, the one you might not even know is there. Let's break that down. Okay, so on one side, you've got your top-down moisture. Spills, splashes, we get it. Simple. But on the other side, you have the hidden enemy, bottom-up moisture. This is this invisible water vapor that is always rising up from your subfloor, especially if it's concrete. You can't see it, you can't wipe it away, and over time, it just gets trapped right under your flooring with absolutely nowhere to go.
I love this analogy because it just nails the concept perfectly. Think of your waterproof floor like a really good raincoat. It's amazing at keeping the rain off your shoulders, but if you're standing in a big puddle, your feet are still going to get soaked from the bottom up. Your floor needs protection from both directions. It's that simple.
So how in the world do you protect your floor from a puddle you can't even see? Well, this is where a super important but often forgotten piece of the puzzle comes in. Let's call it your floor's silent bodyguard.
So, what is a moisture barrier? Sometimes it's called a vapor barrier, but it's exactly what it sounds like. It's just a simple sheet of plastic that you lay down before you put in your flooring. Its one and only job is to completely block that invisible vapor from the subfloor from ever touching the underside of your laminate. It's such a simple idea, but oh man, the impact is massive.
Okay, so what's the big deal? What really happens if you just skip this step? I get it. It seems like overkill, right? Especially when your flooring is already called waterproof. But trust me, the consequences of skipping a barrier are slow, they're silent, and a lot of the time, they're irreversible.
See, without that barrier, the trapped vapor, slowly, month after month, gets sucked up by the core of your laminate planks. Eventually, they start to swell up, warp, and lift at the edges. We call that cupping. Your once perfectly flat floor starts to look all wavy. And even worse, that dark, damp space is the perfect breeding ground for mold and mildew. That's where those musty smells come from, and it's terrible for your air quality.
But here it is, the real kicker, the financial knockout punch. You ready for this? Almost every single flooring manufacturer's warranty says, right there in the fine print, that if you install their product over concrete without a moisture barrier, boom, warranty is gone, voided. So when that damage inevitably shows up, the cost to fix it or replace it, yeah, that's all on you.
And that's the toughest pill to swallow. Once that warping, cupping, or mold damage takes hold from underneath, there's just no easy fix. You can't sand it down, you can't clean it off. The only real solution is to tear out the entire floor and start all over again. This time, of course, with the moisture barrier you should have used in the first place.
Okay, enough with the doom and gloom. The good news is that preventing all of this is incredibly simple and really inexpensive. So let's get into the game plan, the action plan for making sure your installation is a success.
Let's make this super clear. If you are installing your floor over a concrete subfloor, like in a basement or on a slab-on-grade foundation, a moisture barrier is absolutely 100% essential. It is non-negotiable. Now, for a wood or plywood subfloor, it's highly recommended. Think of it as a few bucks worth of cheap insurance to protect a multi-thousand-dollar investment, especially if you live somewhere humid.
So what exactly do you go out and buy? Well, for concrete, the industry standard is what's called a 6mm polyethylene sheet. It's basically just a durable roll of plastic. For wood subfloors, you can get these awesome all-in-one products called combination underlayments. They give you soundproofing and a vapor barrier all in one. But here's a crucial pro tip. If your flooring already has a pad attached to it, you have to check the instructions. Sometimes doubling up can actually trap moisture, so you always follow what the manufacturer says.
And honestly, installing it is a total breeze. First, you get your subfloor clean and flat, just like you would for any job. Second, you just roll out the plastic sheeting and you make sure to overlap any seams by about 8 inches or so. And third, you tape up those seams with a good moisture-resistant tape. And that's it. You've created a perfect, complete seal that's going to protect your big investment.
All right, let's wrap this all up. Let's bring it all together with a few final pro tips just to make sure you get this absolutely right.
So, before you even begin, you know what's a great idea? Get a moisture meter to test your subfloor. It's a tiny step that can save you a massive headache. Remember to match the right barrier to your specific subfloor. And I know I sound like a broken record, but I can't stress this enough. Always read the flooring manufacturer's instructions. It is the only way to guarantee you're protecting that warranty.
You know, at the end of the day, it really just comes down to this old saying. A moisture barrier is such a small, inexpensive part of the entire flooring project, but it prevents the biggest and most expensive problems you could possibly face later on. It's the very definition of working smarter, not harder. So, the next time you're admiring your beautiful floors, or maybe planning for new ones, just ask yourself this one question. You've protected it from all the spills you can see, but is it truly safe from the threat that's silently rising from below? Well, now you know exactly how to make sure the answer is a confident yes.